walk surfaces that your dog walks, runs, and plays on. So these days in our houses, a lot of us have wooden floors, tile floors, laminate floors, and these surfaces do not have any traction. And so when our dogs run and play on these surfaces, instead of being able to plant and push and engage their muscles fully in their back legs, they slide. And this can affect their spinal health and their joint health and make them more prone to injury. A lot of times when I feel a super restricted low back and all of those muscles just feeling just hard as steel around that lumbar spine, I ask the owner, do you play fetch on a slick surface? And they look at me and they go, how did you know? Because when they cannot engage, basically plant and push off with those back legs, they need to overcompensate for that by engaging even more into those low back muscles so that they can stay balanced and they can continue to chase after that ball or doing whatever they're doing. So this becomes a problem in here, and a lot of times it can take multiple treatments to begin to unlayer that because it has become so restricted over time. So I definitely recommend that you avoid playing fetch, especially on slick surfaces. It can really do some damage to your dog. And the other very crucial time to be sure that your dog has traction under their feet is when your dog is a puppy. And it's the same concept here. When your dog is a puppy and they're developing and they cannot plant and push while they're running around on the surface that they are running or playing on, it starts affecting their hip joint. So recent studies have actually found that environment and also diet and lifestyle have a larger influence on the ability of the hip joint to develop properly over just straight up genetics. And you may have heard the phrase that genetics loads the gun, the diet, lifestyle, environment pull the trigger, and this one factor, the surface that they are running and playing on, has a huge influence on that. So when I got my German Shepherd, I actually, before I brought him home, I went to IKEA and I got a bunch of cheap runners, and they were already rubberized on the back too. And I put them down, and sure enough, when I brought him home, he's running and playing and having a merry time with the other dogs. And I could rest assured that he was able to properly run around and plant his feet, fully engage his muscles in his rear so that he would develop properly. So think about that. If you're getting a puppy or you currently have a puppy and they're playing on surfaces like this tile, I would really consider getting some cheap runners or even some yoga mats. They work really nicely too, and putting them down so that they have some nice traction under their feet. And if you have company coming over, just roll them up, throw them in a closet, you're good to go. It can make a huge difference in your dog's joint health over time. And when you're playing with your dog, you always want them to be on a surface with traction. So this is carpet, rugs, mats like this, grass, dirt, any of those surfaces, even gravel will give them some better traction. Some just don't like the feeling of the gravel under their feet, but you want to make sure if you're playing with your dog, if you're running your dog, if they're playing fetch, they need to be on a surface with traction. It's going to make such a difference in their ability to properly engage their limbs, plant and push, and it's going to help their joint health in the long run.